are talking to Jenny, Tanisha, Jared, and Lizzie. Hi guys, how are you all doing? Awesome. A little bit nervous, right? Yeah. We're going to shake it off though. We're excited to talk about Young Life today, and I have some questions to ask you guys so we can get the information out to our community. So the first question I have for everybody is, what is Young Life? Can somebody explain to me what Young Life is?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So Young Life is, it's really hard to put into one elevator pitch because there's so many things that go into Young Life. But Young Life is an international and local ministry located here in Elko and Spring Creek right now. We're hoping to expand to the rest of the county at some point. We don't know when that'll be. But what we do is we exist to tell kids about Jesus. And our only limitation is we need people and we need money. So the more people we have, the more kids we can reach. And excuse me, so it doesn't matter where the kid comes from, who they are, we want them here. We want every kid, and eventually we would like to expand to all of Young Life's ministries and be able to do Young Lives, which is a ministry to teen moms, Young Life 1, which is kids who are more on the margins of society, like they're in juvenile justice or they're in foster care or something like that, or Capernaum, which is our ministry to teenagers that have intellectual disabilities, and then maybe even Young Life College. So we are just kind of waiting to see what happens next and who God brings us and how to use everything together.
That's an excellent answer. I think that touched me already, so I'm really excited about this interview, you guys. Okay, so the next question I have, what does Young Life do?
So Young Life, we immerse ourselves into the lives of kids. We go to their school, hang out with them, go to their games. We just listen to them, talk to them about, what they're going through, what's important to them, whatever they want to tell us. We earn their respect, and we love and accept them for who they are. We befriend them, and honestly, what we go by is we try to earn the right to be heard. So if they feel like they can trust us, and when we tell them about Jesus, they'll want to know about it. They'll see the way that we live and see, our attitude on life and just really, what God's done for us. And hopefully we can just guide them and live alongside them in a way that, they'll want to, go after too.
So you lead by example with it, and you meet them where they're at.
Yeah,
I love that. I think that's very genuine.
Yeah.
I think it's a really great thing that you're doing with that.
It's awesome. We also, we don't just expect them to come to us. We go to them. So, I think it's really an awesome opportunity for everybody to build those friendships, people who wouldn't go to a church,
Yeah, absolutely. You're finding people and you're really showing the example of Jesus. And I think
it's
that's
so
awesome.
needed right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are so many different things that our children can get involved in. It's nice to make sure they have all options, and I like that that's what Young Life is providing for them.
Yeah. It's crazy to think the things that we went through as kids are just, 10 times worse these days with all of the, alcohol abuse, internet access, social media, depression, mental challenges, drug use, sexualization in schools. I feel like it's a scary world out there for kids.
It is.
They need love and guidance.
And they can have that support, it sounds like, when they come to Young Life, to have the uplifting support of having Jesus, but also having a community behind them, it sounds like, with that guidance and other options. So I think that's very important.
Yeah.
I think most teenagers would probably really appreciate that, and it's probably very needed. So I like that you brought that up, Lizzie. That's very important. The next question is, where is Young Life located?
Okay, so Young Life is located wherever the kids are. Like Lizzie said, if it's at games or, a kid's having a rough day and, they just want somebody to talk to, we'll take them to coffee. Leaders there's a difference. So we have committee and then we have leaders. And so the leaders will be wherever the kids are, whenever
Perfect.
they need us. So if they're having a bad day and they want to go to lunch with a group of their friends, we can do that. We walk alongside of them. So
Wow.
games, any kind of sports events, recitals, like anything that they're involved in and they want us to be there to support them, that's where we'll be. But right now it is in the homes of middle school students. And so, because we are starting in Spring Creek, so, but that doesn't mean that any kids around our community, they're all welcome.
Perfect.
We just have hosts in Spring Creek right now.
Okay, so it's available for all of the community,
Yes.
anywhere. Okay,
And if anybody wants the address to where the next one's gonna be held, they can look on our Facebook page,
okay.
at Elko Spring Creek Young Life.
Elko Spring Creek Young Life.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. That's really good. And then,
Sorry.
go
Can I
ahead.
just add? So I think that's a perfect place to bring up. That's why we need more
Volunteers.
people. We need people to come and help lead and be on committee.
Awesome. So there's opportunity
Or be
for
donors. Oh yes, we are calling all people.
anybody who feels touched by this, as Liz is saying, we
Yeah.
are in
Please
need.
come
Because
come and help
right
out.
now, we
Awesome.
only have enough leaders to lead, these small groups in Spring Creek, but we want to touch Elko, we want to touch Carlin, Wells. We not only want to do middle school, but we want to do high school, and then, like Jenny said, the opportunities for who we can reach are really endless. I mean, the kids that make up Elko County, that's a big number, and
Yeah,
the more people we have, the more lives we can touch.
And I
absolutely.
think too, the fact that we do it in homes, it makes kids comfortable of like, we're not trying to change them. We're earning the right to be heard, and we're trying to walk beside them where they already are. And just be an example and be somebody that they can talk to. And so that's why we do it in a neutral place. We're not having them, meet us at a church as much as our ministry is about sharing Jesus with these kids, because that is what's important. It's not pushed on them. And so we are meeting them in a very neutral place.
I love that I've heard it so many times already, that you're earning your right to be heard with these kids. I think that is so important. And rather than setting these huge standards and hoops that they have to jump through, you're showing them that we're here right now, and you don't have to earn this kind of love. So I think that's a very important thing. When do people get together for Young Life, time-wise and age-wise? Do you guys have set events that you do, and what age do kids normally get involved in it?
So right now we're starting with Wildlife, which is 6th through 8th grade, so middle school students.
Okay.
Right now it's just once a month. Like Lizzie's brought up and Jenny's brought up, we do need funding for this to be able to do it weekly.
Is it funding as in donations?
Donors, we're gonna start fundraising. We have 15 spots at camp this year, and so we need fundraising for that.
Can you touch a little bit more on that, Tanisha,
Yeah.
about the 15 spots at camp? How does that all work with it?
Yeah, so we've got 15 spots at camp. We have 4 leaders going, so we'll have 11 spots open to kids. We will drive them there. They'll spend a week at camp. It's the funnest week of their lives. They get to do.
And these are resort quality camps.
Yes.
Oh, really?
This
Okay.
is not like
they
the
teach
typical
you.
A-frame camp. This is awesome. You have a bed, they make your bed, they turn on the sheets.
Oh, that
for
is
you.
great.
I mean, it's amazing.
So you just get to go and just enjoy your time and get that quality time with one another, and there's no pressure.
We
and
got
it's
to
safe
go
and-
to the winter camp, and they have like a coffee shop. During the summer camp's the one we're gonna go to. They have a swimming pool. They have
Oh
a
my
lake
goodness.
where you can paddleboard, and this fun swing that like swings over the lake. And
Wow, so
Um,
lots of memories to be made in a safe environment, and you can these kids can look back on it the rest of their lives, it sounds like, as something that when they have kids of their own, they're excited to continue bringing them to Young Life because it has impacted them so positively.
I personally can relate to that because I did Young Life in Elko County growing up.
Okay.
And then I got to take my daughter to camp. And
I bet
it was
that
the
was
same camp
special
I got
for
to
you.
go to, and it was so fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to share about that is what makes Young Life Camp different than like a typical church camp is the leader that you get to know, who goes to your school, goes to your recital, goes with you to coffee, whatever, is the same leader that goes with you to camp.
Okay.
And that leader comes back with you. So if there's stuff that comes up while you're at camp, because sometimes things come up in a more neutral place. It's not home. You know, nobody's worried about mom finding out tomorrow, what I just said. So they can say, you know, typically it's Thursday night actually, where kids are just like, oh, I have so much to say and there's so much that's happened this week. And especially after the pandemic, we had kids who they just wanted to talk. And so I love that our leaders who know these kids go to camp and come back with them. So it's not happening in a vacuum.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's very important.
amazing. I've experienced a little bit of what goes on there. Like they do what's called cabin time, and they get to talk about what you know, maybe even the hardships that are going on in their life. They get to share those things, and you don't share those things with people you don't trust, but because the leaders and the other you're around your friends, those are the people that you share those things with, and so you really get to love them through everything that
Absolutely.
they're going through.
You support one another and you have support in return. And I think in this world, we are so isolated from having that support. And it sounds like you guys really bring that focus back on Jesus and also back on the support of community and one another. So I think that's very special.
Yeah, and another thing we forgot to say earlier is even if kids don't decide they believe what we do, we love them anyways.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what we're.
So there's no pressure.
Well, and I think to bring back to your question of like what age and how long.
Yes.
So when you're at camp, you do get like cabin time and you get fun, and they call it a funnel. So you start really high energy and you play games and you play mixers, and then you funnel down to a quick talk. And so that's what we're starting to do once a month. Last month we did have 50 kids come to our first event.
Oh my goodness.
For Christmas. It was
That's
lots
huge,
of
you
games
guys.
and prizes and fun. And we made sure to tell them all, like, we're not going to be able to give all these prizes away every time we get together, but this is what it's like. And they were all begging to come back. So we do have one in January.
Okay.
It's on January 20th from
Okay.
4:30 to 6:30, or 4:30 to 6, sorry.
Okay.
And it's just gonna be a bunch of fun. We're gonna play tons of games, and then we funnel down. And I think one of the most incredible things about camp was watching hundreds of middle schoolers be so crazy and then just funnel down, because middle schoolers are not spectators. They do not like to watch.
No.
So it's crazy how you just get their attention and they funnel down and they're just zoned in on what you're saying. We intentionally call club a party with a purpose,
Oh, I
because
like that.
there is a purpose as to why they're there, but it is controlled fun chaos. And so there's definitely a purpose behind all of it. And just to watch these kids, like even at our Christmas party, just have so much fun. And you know, then we got to turn on a camp video and show them that video, and they were all just like zoned in. Is this even the same group of kids? They're so fun though, but it's really awesome to see.
Yes, I bet. Well, you guys, I really appreciate this. I appreciate you guys all speaking to me. My last and probably one of the most important questions here is why your involvement in Young Life? Why is it something you're passionate about? I don't know who wants to take that one first, but
I love Jesus, and Jesus loves kids. That's one of the. Sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional. I wasn't planning on that, but
I want you guys to show everything, and I think it's very important. So the emotion is welcome here.
okay. So Jesus loves kids. I mean, he displays that throughout his time here on earth, but we see that just throughout Scripture that God loves kids. And what I love about Young Life is that it's for every kid everywhere. So it doesn't matter if that kid has all the same brands as everybody else. It doesn't matter if they have a cell phone or not. It doesn't matter, if they're the kid nobody likes. You are home in Young Life. So Young Life brings together the jock kid and the goth kid and all of and they're all united in one place. And what I like to say when people say, so tell me about Young Life, I'll say, if kids are welcome to come, doesn't matter what, when, how long, and we tell them about Jesus. And if they say, cool, I'm good with Jesus, then we say, awesome. If you want to know more, we have a Bible study called Campaigners. If you don't really care about that Jesus guy, we'll see you next week. We just want to see you. We just care about who you are. And there's just, I think the other thing I love about Young Life is we're not expecting kids to come to us. We're going to where kids are. And I love that. We're not expecting them to figure it out and show up. We go to where they are and we say, hey, we just want to know you. And I love that.
That's amazing. You're taking that stress and pressure off kids, and you are showing up for them and showing them that there is a place for everybody in this world. I love that. I love that, Jenny. Thank you.
So for me, I have a personal testimony with Young Life, and I got to be a part of Young Life in high school. And so I know how much I needed it at a time where I was in high school, and to have a sixth grader now, the stuff that she comes home and tells me or expresses to me, and I love that I can be that person for her to open up to. And for me, I didn't have that growing up, and so to have that trusted adult that supports me, shows up to my games, shows up to my activities, and just genuinely wants to know me for me and not try to change me, but genuinely just loves me for who I was. That was everything to me in high school. And the fact that we get to start it in middle school kids are at an age where they still are questioning, like, do you like me? And high school kids are at an age where they're asking, like, do I like you? And so I think to be able to start this in middle school and go for the full 7 years with this ministry really makes me excited to be a part of that. Like I said, having a little one myself and just knowing in our community we don't have a lot for kids to do. And I think that's a big why is I've tried to be a part of Young Life multiple times, and the third time's a charm, and I feel led to do so, and I'm happy and honored to be able to be here and be a part of these kids' lives and to just try to help them and just love them for who they are.
That's amazing. That made me emotional. I think it's a very important thing that you're doing, and I think that it's amazing to really, like we were saying, show everybody that they belong and that you're not disappointed, because when we have that shame and that disappointment, we can push people away. And I love how you were saying that you want to be that support for your child that you didn't necessarily have. And not only are you doing it for your daughter, you're doing it for so many others. I think that's amazing.
For me, I got involved honestly because Liz got a call and asked to be a part of this, and I love kids. Unfortunately, we don't have kids, and it's kind of been on our minds a lot lately, and so this was kind of a door opening for sure from God.
Oh wow, you
And
guys.
so I used to coach kids here in baseball, and I grew up in this community. I just love being around kids, and hopefully, since I work out at the mine, this will kind of be a way to stay around kids and work around my schedule.
That's very touching. And Liz and Jared, you guys are married, so there's a little backstory here. Yes, that's very amazing, you guys.
Yeah. So for me, I just know what Jesus has done in my life since, this injury is I feel like the hardest thing I have ever gone through, but it's been so much easier with Jesus, and I just know that like we said earlier, all the things that kids are facing today, and I remember what I experienced being young, all the things that you're influenced by, all of the
Influenced by the world.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, it's still hard even when you get to this age.
Yes,
It's not a cakewalk by any means. So
Yeah.
when you're growing up and you're going through those emotions, you know,
If I could
Absolutely.
go back to that age, I wish now that I had Jesus when I was that age to guide me, and because you're just looking for acceptance, you want to fit in, you want to be liked, and so that's a scary road. I mean, and
that's where you find, am I doing things the right way? You
Yeah.
look to your peers, and no one knows which way is up sometimes, and that's
Yeah.
where this is really a safe space where if a child doesn't necessarily have the home where they feel supported in, they have a community. It sounds like Young Life, and then they can tell their friends, and it can just help from there on, and hopefully help give children the opportunity to make decisions based on all the offers they have on the table, not just the ones that they're seeing right in front of them.
Well, and
Yeah.
even like Jenny said, kids that you wouldn't think would hang out with other kids, they become such good friends. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, different kids that I went to Young Life with, and I would have, just being honest, would have never chose to hang out with certain groups of kids. I wasn't popular, I wasn't whatever, I was a very quiet person, I would have never approached anybody. And so then to get to be friends with these kids that you're like, I would have never chose to hang out with you because
And now you
whatever
probably could
reason.
never picture not having them in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see the kids and the bonds that they grow, not only with the Lord and in themselves, but like at school, and then they're more likely to, invite their friends and just be able to have a spot that they're truly themselves and everybody accepts them regardless of what they choose to wear, what they look like, what activities they do.
Or even what they choose to believe. It sounds
Yeah.
like they're just accepted. That's amazing. Liz, I cut you off a little bit. Do you have anything else to say for your why?
No, just that Jesus is the way, and I want to share that. That's like my biggest thing. I can't imagine my life without Jesus, and now that I see that, I want everybody to have that too.
That's amazing. I think that's a great place to end it. I think that summarizes it right there. I really appreciate everybody's time today and doing this interview. I'm so excited for people to be able to see this and to feel the energy we have here and the passion behind this. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for meeting with me today. You guys at Smell with Global One Media, thank you for watching. Have a good day.